The following video is dedicated to all of the 160 people who were killed in the crash of West Caribbean Airways Flight 708, as well as their families. Note: both the cockpit voice recorder (CVR) and the flight data recorder (FDR) sustained serious damage in the crash, but both were still usable. However, the CVR recordings themselves were damaged and had to be repaired. Despite the repairs, some portions of the tape were still in poor quality. I used the CVR transcript to make this, so a few sentences in this video might sound weird. Again, this is due to the damage from the crash. Tuesday, August 16, 2005, Tocumen International Airport, Tocumen, Panama. West Caribbean Airways Flight 708 is preparing for a flight to Martinique-Aimé International Airport in Fort-de-France, Martinique. The aircraft is a 19-year-old McDonnell Douglas MD-82 registered as HK4374X. The captain is 40-year-old Omar Ospina, who has 5,942 flying hours, including 1,128 hours on the MD-82. The first officer is 21-year-old David Munoz, who has 1,341 hours of flight experience, including 862 hours on the MD-82. Ospina is the pilot flying portrayed, and Munoz is the pilot not flying PNF. The flight took off around 1 a.m. The route takes them through an area of thunderstorms, which pilots are aware of. A few hours later, the flight enters Venezuelan airspace. Do we have ice? And for what, Captain? Ice on the surfaces? Do we put the airfoil or what? Engine airfoil. Okay. Time. Order. Inaudible. To the passengers. Put the inaudible on. Bravo Romeo Mike. Captain Ospina, inaudible. Ah. What a lot of bad weather, brother. Yeah. Yes, I'll let you tell me. Dim the lights so that the passengers don't stand up, okay? Yes! Let's go to 310. Do it. The Marquesh Air Traffic Control (ATC) station is located in Venezuela. The station does not have a radar system, so the controllers depend on the pilots to know their location, and use maps and charts of the area to mark them. Mike Atia, Whiskey Charlie Whiskey 708. Whiskey Charlie Whiskey 708 Mike Atia. Request descent to flight level 310. Request descent to level 310. Affirmative. Descend then maintain 310. 310. The CVR then records a clicking sound, then the pilot's saying something that was inaudible on the recording. Give me. The rest of Ospina's sentence is inaudible. 2 clicks are heard. Power up.
Altitude.
Give me the speed brakes. Leave the power at. Inaudible, alright?
Altitude. Altitude. Stall. Stall. Stall.
Okay.
Stall. Altitude. Altitude. Stall.
It's the stall, Captain. Ah, it's the stall. Pumps on.
Altitude.
On, Captain. Tell him that we continue our descent.
Altitude.
Continue descent to 290 West 708.
Altitude. Stall. Altitude.
Stand by for the all.
Stall.
Both pilots simultaneously say start, but the rest of the pilot's sentences are both inaudible. Aircraft calling Mike Atia. West 708 continue descent to 40. Descend to 240. Do you have any problem on board? Affirmative. Tell him we had 2 flame out on the 2 engines. We have flame out on the 2 engines. Confirmed. We have flame out on the 2 engines. Roger. Continue descent at pilot's discretion. Okay, at discretion. 40. Tell him what's the MEA for this area? Sir? The MEA for this area. Could you confirm me the MEA for this area? Confirm radial and distance from Punta Cabello if it's possible. Negative. Negative. Roger. A position with respect to Santa Barbara or the Navades of Valera. Negative. Do you request continue descent lower than 240? We are with 14,000 feet. We are with 14,000. And going down. Uncontrollable the airplane. The airplane is uncontrollable. Roger, confirm people on board intention. And distance from any nav air if it is possible. 152. The airplane is uncontrollable. I understand 152 people on board. Affirmative.
Sync rate.
Confirm what level are you crossing at this time. Whiskey Charlie Whiskey 708.
Pull up. Sync rate. Pull.
At 3 a.m. local time, West Caribbean Airways Flight 708 crashes into the ground near a cattle ranch in Mexiques, Venezuela. All 160 people on board are killed. There are no survivors. Investigators from Venezuela, the United States, Colombia, and France all investigate the crash together. The investigators interviewed the Marquesas air traffic controller, who told them about hearing First Officer Munoz telling him that the aircraft's engines had both flamed out. The investigators initially thought that this scenario was true, but upon examination of the engines, it was revealed that the engines had no previous damage and that they were still operating at the moment of impact. Thus, the investigators ruled out this scenario. After inspecting the cockpit voice recorder and flight data recorder, the investigators confirmed that the cause of the crash was pilot error. The pilots lost situational awareness and had lacked crew resource management. The crew may have even become spatially disoriented, causing them to mishandle the stall. First Officer Munoz was aware that the MD-82 was in a stall and tried to correct Captain Ospina, who was confused. In addition, West Caribbean Airways was going through major financial issues at the time of the crash. The airline was not able to train their pilots sufficiently enough, and couldn't give workers their payment on time. In fact, because of this, Captain Ospina had to get a second job as a bartender so he could support his family. As a result of the crash, West Caribbean Airways was grounded, and the entire airline went bankrupt and ceased operations in October the same year, 2005. With 160 fatalities, the crash of Flight 708 became the deadliest aviation disaster of 2005 and the deadliest to occur in Venezuela. It is also the deadliest aviation disaster involving the McDonnell Douglas MD-82, and the third deadliest crash involving the MD-80, regardless of variant. The crash of Flight 708 was also the deadliest aviation disaster worldwide since the crash of China Airlines Flight 611 back in 2002 until the crash of Air France Flight 447 in 2009.